Well, first off, I just want to touch on a couple things. One of the reasons that we're only playing one game this weekend. Obviously, we want to play as many games as we can. We only have the one healthy goalie. So we want to thank UConn, thank the league, and thank the administrations for allowing us to play the one game. It's not very conventional to have one goalie in the net. Um, Overall, I thought it was an unbelievably hard fought game. We didn't get off to the greatest of starts, but we just kept on getting better as the game went on. I thought there was some sloppy play on both sides at times, but on balance, they're a really good hockey team. They pose a lot of problems. They posed a lot of problems for us. They played a smart game. We were on the right side of it tonight. Obviously with the goal at the end. The tying goal was terrific. How we just stayed in there and Webbs made a big play. And then we had a pass across and Koff was a big goal. And then obviously the overtime winner, putting a freshman out there. I think he was lobbying during the intermission or the break there to get out there. I said he would be a good net front presence, but ended up being good off the rush and he scored a big goal. So happy for him, happy for the team. Really got a mentally tough group. So you asked me on the goal there.
Will you repeat what you said about who won the puck battle along the boards that set up Kaufman's goal?
No, it was Weber. They came up with it. They ended up, we pushed down on it. We kind of closed them on their wing. The puck was stopped up. Webbs did a good job of sliding himself up there on top of their winger and, kind of disrupted one. They came up with it and then his long stick poked it. And then obviously it was a great pass across, good poise. And it was a great, hockey sense by Kaufman to find that little open ice in that seam. And it was just all in all a huge play, especially, at that time of the game and the juncture of what we were trying to do in the offensive zone to try to establish ourselves because they're tough, especially in their own zone. They're really hard to play against.
Coach, how important was that goal right before the first intermission to get it back to 2-1 instead of 2-0 going into at the end of the first period?
Oh, it's enormous. Whenever you can score a last minute or last couple minutes of a period, gives you a little bit of momentum. And it was just a hard play on the wall by Koff, and I thought that was one of the best games he's had in a Terrier uniform. But he made a nice slide play, and then we had a nice slide play, and the finish was pretty high end. He faked it, pulled it to the backhand, and threw it under the bar. That was it was a pretty goal. A lot of it came through hard work, though. So it was a huge moment at the game. That was a big momentum swing for sure.
Hey, Coach, what did you think of your team's response on the Zabaneh hit, both from a physical standpoint right afterwards and also on the man advantage?
The man advantage, I think the first half of it, I think we had some chances and some looks. I think Obi had a play in the bumper spot with a look. I think we had a couple pucks down at the net. We had 3 or 4 whacks at it. But you got to give them credit. They adjusted it during that power play just on their forecheck. We couldn't get in the zone a little bit. I thought our physicality picked up. I thought it was sporadic through the night. I think we can be better in that area. Our puck pursuit was good at times, and then our physicality was good at times. It wasn't the best it could be, but I thought our guys responded. I thought the second and third period we played a lot better than the first.
Coach, you mentioned Kaufman, and his line obviously was a huge factor tonight. You've talked highly of him plenty. How nice is it to see him get rewarded in this one?
Oh, it's great. No, it's great because he's had some chances. He had 2-on-1 earlier. He had a 2-on-1 in the game up in Vermont. He had a couple really good chances up there, and he's been looking to pass too much. So it's nice to see him shoot the puck. But he's a leader. He works extremely hard. He's a professional in how he gets himself ready to play. So we're very fortunate to have him. And that line is all of a sudden in 3 straight games have been difference makers. So it's nice to get a one line consistently doing some major work there.
Coach, I missed the very beginning of your opening. What were you saying? The goaltender, you only had one goalie available tonight?
Yeah. So the reason we only ended up playing one game, I think the league did a good job of kind of figuring out what the rules were. But we only have one healthy goalie. We had a goalie slip on ice. Abe slipped on ice at the beginning of last week, and he tried his hardest to get back to be healthy to play. But we only had one goalie on the line chart tonight. So not very conventional to have that scenario.
What was the backup plan?
I might have thrown on the pads. No, I'm not sure. It was, we were a little bit worried and just in case something happened. But you know what? I think Vinny knowing that he was the only guy to go, he played another terrific game. You know, he really managed the game well, and he didn't have to make a save at the end. But, you know, that 2-on-1 that they had that turned into a 3-on-1, the guy missed the net, but he was out and gave him nothing. So the guy had to push it a little bit wide. So he was a big factor, and, you know, he's off to a terrific start for any goalie.
Yeah, he's had quite the crazy experience so far. I know every time I chime in, I ask you about him, but just while I have you, what did you tell him when you recruited him? Because obviously he probably, you know, he even said he kind of figured he wasn't going to play that much. And, you know, so what was that conversation like? I mean, when you brought him in, did you have to tell him specifically, like, look, you're probably not going to play a lot this year?
No, I don't think we tell anyone that. You know, I think we tell guys they have an opportunity to compete every day in practice. And you look at some of the guys, you know, who are in the lineup and out of the lineup. You know, I think we had an opportunity to play Jake Wise tonight, who I really wanted to get him into a game. You know, he's one of our better players when he's playing well. But I didn't put him in there just because we've been on a run, and it would be a disservice to some of the other guys, especially the guys, you know, who are in the third and fourth line spots who have really played well. And, you know, I think the fourth line had 4 goals in 4 games. So it's hard to really take guys out and plug someone in unless, you know, a guy kind of fails. But I thought overall, you know, guys in those spots played pretty well again tonight. So it's competitive. But to answer your question, every guy has an opportunity every day to show what he can do. And Vinny, from day one, has been highly competitive. His skating ability is terrific. Like, he's an elite goaltending skater. And he's got confidence. You know, he's got confidence in himself. He's got belief. And the conversations that I had with him were more of, you know, he's like, I'd like the opportunity to compete, you know, and that's all you can hear. That's all you can want as a coach, and especially someone going into that sort of scenario. So he's done well.
I definitely hear you what you're saying, but when I asked him, he said he knew what he was coming to. He knew that there was a, you know, blue chip goalie, you know, in front of him, so to speak. So, I mean, that was kind of understood, right? I mean, coming in, there was at least some of that.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was understood, but nothing's given. Jake Ottinger came in his freshman year, and he kind of had to earn it over Connor Lecouve. So I think, especially at that position, you don't want to just give the guy the reins. You know, he's got to compete and fight for it. And I think in preseason and training camp, I think Drew emerged as being the best one at the time. You know, so I think that's why he got the starts, and then he went on 4 or 5 games in a row there. So now Vinny's in a spot where he's doing really well. So it's a good problem to have. I'm really excited about the depth we have there.